weeks. I own a company here called Louisiana Production Consultants. I think I probably know almost everybody in this room. You know, it's been my great privilege to produce a lot of movies here in Shreveport. My business partner, Lisa, and I think have worked on almost a dozen movies in town so far. You know, we deal with the studios a lot, and the studios are bottom line people. And here's kind of the bottom line right now. Last year in April, Louisiana as a whole had 20 projects prepping and shooting. This year we have 6. And they do happen to be in New Orleans, as Terry pointed out, or in Jefferson Parish. But even Jefferson Parish, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, we're all suffering from the same competition, which is Georgia and Michigan. Georgia right now has, I think, between 15 and 20 projects that are prepping and shooting. So it really does kind of come down to bottom line. And in my humble opinion, that bottom line is the production incentive. The production incentive is the first incentive we pass, and it's the incentive that attracts business here. It's what the studios look at to make a decision of where they're going to go. And when the studios look, unfortunately right now, at 30% in Georgia with a 7 to 8% tax rebate, and they look at a city which does have a major metropolitan airport that they can fly directly to, we can't compete. We're still going to get a certain number of projects. There are going to be projects that are going to come to Louisiana because of the topography here, the way our state looks. Maybe people have been here and had a good experience before. Maybe they realize that we've increased our crew base. But unfortunately, a lot of studios make a very knee-jerk reaction. They look at that production incentive, they look at 30%, they look at 25%, they go with 30%. So I really feel very strongly in this next session what we need to ask for is that incremental increase in the production incentive. Make it simply about the production incentive, increase it to 30%, and I feel pretty confident that with our crew base that we've built up, with the infrastructure that we have in place now, we can get competitive again. So,
I think the state and the area has done an amazing job creating this industry, nurturing and growing it. And I think we should really be commended for that. I think we've done a tremendous job. Yet at the same time, I find it a little mind-boggling that the state as a whole has put all this energy, all this effort, all this money into growing this industry, bringing it here, and now there's just a simple thing we have to do to just keep it going, to just sustain it. And it just, to me, seems like such a small thing to ask after 7 years of hard work, of making a name for ourselves, building a great reputation for ourselves as a state in the film industry. And I just want to say that first off, I completely agree with Lampton. And second of all, what I found in my experience in making a movie is that I don't know any other industry where there's a greater gap between interest and knowledge. What I mean by that is I hardly ever, on a daily basis, meet anyone who's not interested in the film industry. Yet, by the same token, I hardly ever meet anyone who really knows anything about the film industry and how it works. And so I think, you know, from the get-go, that's been the big struggle and challenge we face, and I think we're doing a great job, but I think that's what really needs to happen right now in terms of our relationship, the people here in this room, and the legislators, is just bridge that gap, educate them, let them know that this is why this thing's here, and this is the small little step that we have to take to keep it going.
Hi, my name is Melissa Cantro. I'm a local film and television producer. I've been in the industry in Louisiana for more than 15 years. We're pre-incentive. I'm from New Orleans originally. My husband over there has been in the catering business for the film and television industry in Louisiana for over 20 years. We've both been able to make our living in Louisiana full-time, pre-incentives. However, once these incentives started, Louisiana was one of the second states to pass these tremendous incentives. We were able to work year-round, bring in new hires, bring on more employees for his company. He was able to grow his business. And once Katrina happened, we were able to relocate and establish a place of operation here in Shreveport. When we first arrived in Shreveport in 1999 on 2 different projects, we were working with the crews that came up from New Orleans. A lot of those folks dispersed across the country depending on their own personal situations. Some remained here. Some eventually went back to New Orleans. But as you can see from this room, there's a tremendous workforce in Shreveport now, and it's grown exponentially in 3 years. And all of these very strong message for the legislators in Baton Rouge and for the local legislators as well, who I'd like to give kudos to. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting us. I mean, besides Arlena, Mayor Glover, and Pam, and everyone, y'all have been